Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of 22 Minutes. I am Jason Bates, the voice in the background. Applause, please. Applause, please. Oh, boy. There it is. Is it happening? A little delayed there. I don't know, Stefan. I'm going to have to get it on you here. You're up. You're up. This is Stefan Cotton.
Hi. Stefan Cotton. I'm the voice of reason, not the voice behind us. See, that's how come I get.
There you go, man. There you go. My applause didn't work. Hey, I'm Jason Bates, and I'm going to bring you the lender side of things for the show. He is Stefan Cotton. He's going to bring us the realtor side of things to the show. And my timing is off this morning, but together we're going to bring you both sides of real estate, from the lender side and the real estate side. We hope to not only entertain you, but also bring you the valuable content that you can actually use when you're looking to buy, sell, refinance, or invest in property. And certainly if you're looking to do that here in the Phoenix metropolitan area, we would love to be your team of choice, or anywhere in the country, as we do have contacts throughout the country that would be more than happy to help you with your journey.
I was going to say that we like to educate you, but that way you're one of the smarter people in the room. You know, if you want to sound smart, you know, watch a show and then kind of regurgitate it back out, or form your own opinions on what we talk about. But it'll help you look smarter if you watch a show.
Yes. Everybody wants to look smarter. I see a lot of smart quotes out there, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, segue.
Yeah,
Smart.
There's our segue, right? All right. Hey, we always do a tweet quote of the day. And I forgot to mention, if you're a first-time watcher to the show, thank you for being a part of the show and allowing us to be a part of your day. Really do appreciate that. This is a show about real estate, obviously, right? So if you're interested in real estate, hey, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, or just like our page. And that way you get the notifications when we go live on our page at 22 Mins, our Facebook page there. All right, let's get to today's tweet quote of the day. All right. Yeah, your home is a living space, not a storage space. I thought of this one, Stefan, because of some of the Wacky Wednesday photos that weekend.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Pneumonia.
The houses I've seen in this in the flipping side of thing, it will scare a lot of people. I've been in houses where you don't see the floor; you're like a foot above the floor.
Yeah.
And that's just a pathway of newspapers that are this high. And you have no idea what's underneath, and then it's this high, but then you have to go walk through stuff. Yeah.
Quarters.
I always like to, put my shirt. I should get a mask or something sometimes.
Yeah, some scary stuff out there. Some scary stuff. Mama Shucker is in the hospital for pneumonia.
No, she was. I don't think she's
anymore.
She was.
Okay, good.
She was shucking in the hospital. I don't think she's at the hospital now. Maybe she is. But you said maybe it was a hand injury. I said it probably not, and it was pneumonia.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Good. I'm glad she's out. That's good. Hospitals are no fun. No fun at all. Hey, this is Monday Newsmakers, so we're going to cover some of the top newsmakers for last week in real estate. So let's get to that, shall we? Because we got some stuff we got to talk about.
Monday Newsmakers on Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. Right. Hey, it's our show. We can do what we want, Stefan.
Right.
All right, let's get to it. I like to live in the past, man. I'm always a day behind. No, I'm teasing. It is Tuesday, and we typically do trending Tuesdays, but we're going to do top newsmakers today.
Right. So what we have, everybody, for the new people out there or the old people out there, our Wednesdays are Wacky Wednesday. A lot of times, if we miss a day or something, then we kind of slough that day off. The funny photos are funny photos, but tomorrow will probably be trending Tuesday on Wednesday. And we'll be all caught up on Thursday. Right?
We'll probably do Wacky Wednesday tomorrow. I don't know. We'll talk about that after the show.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing.
What he said.
Right.
Yeah. what he said that way.
Right. I agree.
All right. Hey, top newsmakers. First one here. Home prices will greatly outpace income. I think a lot of people are experiencing this, right? But in its summer 2017 housing and mortgage market review, Arch MI projects that home prices are expected to escalate sharply while incomes will increase very slowly over the next 2 years. But it won't be just home prices that will make owning a home unaffordable for many. Arch is projecting that interest rates will jump by 5 to 6%, up to 5 to 6%. That is a 33% increase over current rates. You should have potential borrowers look at page 3 of the report. Currently, homeowners' DTI are at a low 40% range. If rates hit 6%, average DTIs will jump up to the upper 50% range. I think this is why, we'll get into it a little bit later, but this is why we saw some of the changes recently to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's guidelines on DTI. They're anticipating these things. Yeah, let's focus in on this graph here.
Let's see this here.
This graph really kind of illustrates the income versus home appreciation deficiency. And we've said for a long time, or I know I have said for a long time, that we need to watch this wage pressure. Employers still aren't quite there, starting to, but not quite there yet in increasing personal wages to maintain or retain employees. So
it's very unlikely. I mean, I'm looking at, for example, Los Angeles. It's gone up 28.4% in the last 2 years, while the pay increase has gone up 2.5%. I don't think. I mean, I get what this illustration does, but I feel like if I'm making $70,000 a year and I got a 2.5% increase, that's what is that? 14, 15, about 2,000 more. So now I'm making 72,000 a year.
Right.
Or no. So 72,000 a year. But the house price went from 200 to 250. So will that extra $2,000 a year cover that extra 50,000?
What you mean an increase? Well, it depends on rates, right? As rates increase too, that spread is a little bit wider. So you got to put everything in perspective here, and plus cost of living, right? Healthcare costs, that's gone up. Wages haven't kept up with that. Prices of groceries have gone up. The only thing, and my wife and I were kind of talking about this, the only reason the economy, in my mind, is still doing okay is gas prices have remained relatively low. Remember, gas prices were, in California especially, $6 a gallon. They were crazy. Think if that were the case now, $4 a gallon, even national average, $4 a gallon. What would that do? It would stifle our economy, I believe. So, putting everything in perspective, this is just one element of it. Housing there's an affordability problem here. No question about it. And so the government has taken some steps to help encourage homeownership. But we'll get into that here in just a second. Next slide here. Here we go. Rent versus buying. And I don't know why I haven't seen more ads on this. Why rent when you can buy? That was big in the 90s. That was a big ad campaign.
Yeah. I say that to people all the time. So I guess because it's my job. But but you mean like on a national campaign level?
I'm not seeing flyers. I'm not seeing, like ads. Like I'm seeing Realtor.com in an elevator. Like you went to Realtor.com. I'm not seeing why are you renting? Home prices are there. Visit Realtor.com to get the house that I'm not seeing the tie to this. It kind of baffles me a little bit.
I have a lady.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have a lady called me up yesterday wanting for a rental, no more than $1,400 or something. Needs a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, I think. And then she gave me a specific map for her schools or whatever. Mm-hmm. There was one rental in her budget. And it wasn't awesome. But I said, well, what's your credit score? She says, like 620 something. I go, well, maybe we should look at buying. Mm-hmm. And she says, well, I don't know about the time. She's like, how much time do you need? I go, probably 30 days, 35 days. She's like, I think I can do that. So I sent her the same map of of house, like 9 houses she can afford.
Yeah.
For the same price, give or take. I went pretty low. I was afraid that the interest rates are going to go up or something. You know what? We talked about how I can't predict what the payment would be. I just said, if you're buying a home, maybe you can even pay a little more if it's your own home. But
yeah,
like 9 homes versus 1 home.
Yeah. Well, what was her logic behind it? Was she like, well, I don't have enough for the down payment. You need 20% down, or you need an 800 credit score. What was her barrier? I guess
her barrier was that if she buys a house, she wants to make sure it's really nice. But when it's renting, she's okay. These houses in her area, the Phoenix area, they're older houses because you don't expand from within; you expand from the outer stuff.
Right. Right.
The houses are 1985 or maybe 1980. She's like, well, when I'm renting it, I justify that that's okay. But if I wanted to buy, I'd want to buy something that's newer or nicer. And so that was her mindset.
So expectation was her barrier.
Yeah. So I found a couple that were pretty nice. Found a couple that were a 4-bedroom that was really nice. I was like, I can't believe this one's still in the market.
Well, they're out there, and there's indications that rents may even go up higher because of people like her, right? Saying, hey, I'm just going to rent. I think there's some loyalty issues too, or I shouldn't say loyalty, but planting issues. I think when somebody buys a house, they feel like they're planted and stuck. When they rent, they have some freedom to go anywhere in the country, kind of thing. Maybe that's right. Part of it, kind of thing. There's no obligation or no commitment there, I guess. Which is why marriage is also down, right? A lot of people aren't getting married anymore. The U.S. Census Bureau housing statistics show the homeownership rate is beginning to improve. This is good from historic lows, right? We've talked about that. The rate increased by 0.1% this quarter, so not much, but any improvement, some improvement, is good improvement. 0.8% better than last year to reach 63.7% homeownership in the country. The rate of drop.
Wait, say that number again. What does that mean? 63.7.
That means that of the population, I'm guessing here, is homeowners. Of eligible homeowners, 63% of the people are homeowners.
Okay.
The rate had dropped to a 50-year low at 62.9%. We talked about that a few months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. A year ago, and appears to be gaining ground again. The category that showed the strongest growth was folks 35 and younger. So millennials, which historically have been non-committal to purchasing a home. This was no doubt driven by the very aggressive lending programs that are available again. I don't know about very aggressive. That's kind of strong verbiage to use very aggressive. We're not pre-2008 aggressive. Meanwhile, rental vacancies jumped 6.7% from last year. Little wonder rents jumped from an average $750 to over $900 since 2015. So there you go. It has gone up, rentals. I know vacancies here in Phoenix are at an all-time low. Apartment complexes are loving it right now. I mean, they're at 90% occupancy or higher. A lot of apartment complexes here.
We have low inventory for sale. New builds are going up as fast as they can. There's still not enough houses, right? I mean, if the apartments are filled up, that's part of it too. Here's what I want to challenge everybody out there watching right today. Like, if you send me what you're paying for rent, and maybe a zip code of where you're at, Jason and I will work up like a scenario. I'll use a like area and find something comparable. See what your monthly payment would be in that same area.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Why rent when you can buy for the same price?
Let's put money where our mouth is, and so let's see if there's some better opportunities for you. If you have a 4-bedroom single-level house that you're paying $1,400 a month for in your area, can I find something like it that's cheaper than that to own?
Challenge, Stephen Cotton. Let's do a challenge.
Challenge accepted. There was this before we get to this. There's this guy that lets bugs bite him. Like it's like fire ants and like the most.
Yeah, he's like in Tucson or something, right?
Yeah, or something. I don't know where he's at, but he calls it like the fire ant challenge. I'm thinking, no one's challenging you to do this, man. Like no one has challenged you to do this. And so he's like, there, I did it. The fire eating challenge, And so operations manager, Roseanne and I were talking about how I should do like my own challenge, which is like have you had the creamsicle shake at Hardee's? It's like an orange creamsicle.
Haven't had it at Hardee's, but.
Oh, this is Stephen Cotton with the orange creamsicle milkshake challenge. Ooh, that's cold. Oh, that's cold.
Yeah, right.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
But
oh man, some people. I bet you it would go viral. Maybe he's looking for YouTube viewers or something. Who knows? All right, next headline here: Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae, the rollout of 10.1 to the consumer. They're like, whoa, who cares? What is that? 10.1.
What happened
Fannie Mae.
Yeah, what happened at 9.7?
Yeah, what happened to 1.1 and 2.0 and whatever?
Or what happened to Pi? 0.1417.
The Fannie Mae DU is Desktop Underwriter, which is the automated underwriting engine that Fannie Mae uses to evaluate your credit, your income, and really what underwriters use to evaluate the overall risk in lending you money. This is Fannie Mae. Freddie Mac has LP, Loan Prospector, is what they call that. So Fannie Freddie, they're pretty similar in what they offer. In fact, they're getting more and more similar to what they offer. But there was a recent rollout to Fannie Mae. Just happened July 29th, so just over a week ago. And there were some changes made to it. And I want to kind of get your take on it. We mentioned here earlier in the show about the debt-to-income ratio and home prices outpacing income, that sort of thing. As you can see on the slide here, and maybe I can zoom in on this slide here so we can kind of get a sense of it here.
Maybe.
There you go.
Oh, there he is.
There you go. So on 10.1 here, the max DTI 50% debt ratio. We've had some discussions. Good thing, bad thing. You know, traditionally, I mean, when I first started in the business, you couldn't exceed 38%. 38. And if you're going to 43% debt ratio, you had to have some exceptions. You had to have some compensating factors, is what we call it in the business. Now they're going up to 50% debt ratio with no compensating factors. Remember when this first got announced, I was saying, hey, hold the horses. We don't know the whole detail of it yet. Well, now we kind of do. We know that the debt-to-income ratio doesn't require any compensating factors, which is a little surprising to me. A little surprising. So my question to you, Stefan, here on some of this rollout, and we'll get into some of the other things here too that were part of this rollout that aren't getting as much coverage. Is this a good thing, bad thing? Are we heading down the path? We talk about affordability. You're talking 50% of the gross income of an individual to qualify for a home. Yeah. Not the net income, but the gross.
Right. I mean, it's a car loan. It's probably more expensive than it was 2 years ago. You know, car prices, we don't ever talk about how those things go up or change.
Right.
But if I'm spending $300 on a car payment, maybe it's $330, which is a 10% increase to that debt. And I've said this. Here's my take on it. Here's why me as a realtor is okay with this set as a 50. Not that there's a bubble. I'm not worried about the bubble. But if you have a 50% debt to income ratio, you're going to spend money renting a place. You're going to need housing. Housing requires, like the rental stuff, they usually like to see 3 times your income for your rent. So if you're renting for $1,500, they need to bring home or income of $4,500. Qualify you for that. That's 33%. Not counting car payments or That's their one little thing. It's simplified. If you're going to spend $1,500 a month on rent, then why not buy if you can buy? And now if they're giving you more opportunities to buy, you can gain equity, right? You can gain wealth. Yeah. So for me, upping this 50% helps more people achieve the American dream.
Yeah. Well, and here, some other statistics that go along with this, or some other things that DU is accepting, and Fannie Mae, is credit scores. So they've kind of looked at credit scores, and one of the things on there, part of this rollout, is disputed trade line process. That's the headline there at the bottom of the slide on there. And the headline says here, the truth is that the credit score can be manipulated. I hate that word, manipulated, by the way. I hate that word. Wow. We all know credit reporting agencies. There's a lot of errors on people's credit reports. It's not a true reflection, in my opinion, of somebody's ability to repay a loan. Well, it looks like Fannie and Freddie are kind of jumping on that bandwagon a little bit. Before DU 10.1, before this rollout, borrowers were always required to resolve any dispute that was on a consumer's credit report prior to closing a loan with either Fannie or Freddie. So if you had a disputed trade line because the credit report was erroneous or that trade line was erroneous, you paid a debt as an example, you paid it off, or you weren't late on a monthly payment, you disputed that, which gives you the right as a consumer to challenge the authenticity of that information, right, on your credit report. Well, Fannie Freddie always asks you to take it off. The reason for that is because when you dispute a trade line, it takes it out of the algorithm of the credit score. Therefore,
take it off. Take it all off.
Take it all off.
Right.
Therefore, by it being out of the algorithm, your credit score therefore increases, giving you an artificial inflation of your credit score, right?
Right.
So, well, Fannie and Freddie now are saying, hey, we really don't care. It's an artificially inflated credit score. We don't care. We don't care. So it says here, knowing that credit repair companies would often get a bump in score by disputing every piece of derogatory information, with the rollout of 10.1, the consumer is no longer required to remove disputes prior to underwriting. So now you don't have to take off these disputes. So are we starting to get in an arena of, well, this person has a credit score of 680, but they've had all this bad credit in their past, but because it's disputed, that credit score is 680 when in fact it should be 600.
Right.
Are we getting into an area where a person shouldn't be a homeowner that is a homeowner?
Right. So with that, if you can't make your payments on time, if you can't make that $15 a month minimum credit card payment on time, then maybe being a homeowner isn't. I mean, you got to reward those that are disciplined enough to make the payments, right? But,
yeah. Okay, another headline that's kind of making a part of this rollout here. Let's see here. 50% debt ratio, yes, no compensating factors. Here are a few more on purchases. DU no longer requires a pay stub. Check that out. Booyah.
right.
Prior to the borrower starting employment, they can provide an employment contract. This is good for for teachers especially, or offer letter in lieu of a pay stub. So if you're starting a new job, you're getting an offer letter. Typically, in the past, we needed the offer letter, plus we needed a month's worth of pay stubs to substantiate the offer letter. Now, we'll take the offer letter. A little dangerous here. Sometimes these offer letters can be manipulated, that word that I hate.
Yeah.
Literally, I hate that one.
Literally, that word.
Literally manipulated. So I don't know. I feel like this could be a little bit of a scary proposition here.
Right. I mean, it seems like there's a few things there. Hopefully they kind of earmark them or pay attention to what they're agreeing to and how it affects some people. And they're going to do this. They're going to get, okay, that was a bad idea, or that was a good idea. We're going to have to tighten up stuff. Mm-hmm. But for now, it's it's a little...
Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Once we start getting some numbers in, we start seeing defaults or anything as a result of these decisions, they'll pull it back. They will pull it back. Yeah. But right now, hey, you're in the driver's seat, so why rent when you can buy? All right, last one here. We're going to...
We're out of time, but yeah.
Yeah, I know we are out of time. I just want to... This is real quick here. E-signings. Because I put it in the headline, I want to make sure we're covering it. E-signings. If you don't know, it's time you learn. Regular e-closings are where you sit in front of a notary and a computer and click through instead of wearing out your arm. So e-signing. A lot of times you use DocuSign, Stefan, for contracts. Yep. I use DocuSign for disclosures, that sort of thing. Well, now they're starting to implement this in closings. So all 50 states recognize some form of UETA, which is e-signing compliant e-process. However, only 4 states have approved remote e-closings. So e-closings, not e-signings, but e-closings. This is where you can be anywhere in the world and a notary only sees you via computer's camera. Once they confirm identity, you click through the docs and sign them. Virginia was the first state to approve remote e-closings. So if you're in Virginia,
I like it.
You
Simplifies it. But it's also super lazy. Like I can sign, I don't have to put pants on to buy a house now. Like I don't have to put pants on to work work my butt out down to the escrow officer to sign. I can just, whatever I'm wearing, just click and point. Just here's my ID.
Yeah, here's the
I like
idea.
it, but I feel like it's kind of. I like it because it's easy and convenient, but I feel like it's weird.
Yeah, no more driving to the title company. Stefan, I don't know if you attend all of your closings. Hey, may have to, eliminate that from your business model if that happens. Arizona hasn't done that yet. We'll keep you up to date if it does, for sure. So stay tuned. Hey, speaking of which, thank you, by the way, for being a part of the show and watching the show to its entirety. Really appreciate that support. If you're at our Facebook page, please like the page. We'd appreciate that support as well. Tell your friends and family, especially if they're looking to buy, sell, refinance, or invest in property, or thinking about doing that in the near future.
Yeah.
We definitely would love to talk to them and get a plan together for them for the best.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's what we do on the daily.
That's what we do daily. This is what we do. This is who we are. So, hey, everyone, I know we ran long today. Appreciate you sticking with us, like I said. So, everyone, tomorrow, 9 a.m., and Steph and I, it'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise what we're going to do. Trending Tuesday or Wacky Wednesday? Steph and I are going to talk about that. Stefan sings and gets us copyright infringement issues going on.
Right. Getting shut off.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.